Have you ever been pushed so far by someone at work that your anger turns cold? Not loud, not dramatic, just cold. That's where I was when my senior coworker, the guy who was supposed to guide me, tried to dump all his responsibilities on me. He wanted me to be his personal chauffeur for a supplier visit he was supposed to handle. He didn't know that I'd had enough. He didn't know that the moment he tried to force me into driving him, I started planning a revenge so subtle, so quiet, that by the time it hit him, it would be his own boss humiliating him in front of me. And the best part? All it took was me taking a bus I didn't even need. If you've ever dealt with a coworker who takes advantage of your kindness or dumps their job on you like it's your responsibility, hit that like button. And if you love stories where karma shows up with perfect timing, subscribe, because this one is cold, clean, and deliciously petty. My name is Ryan Malik, 27 years old, living in Northbridge, a busy city that looks calm on outside, but in real it is very busy city. Moreover, if you work in operations. My job is about 20 minutes away by car, and I've been driving every day since I joined. Convenient, predictable, peaceful. Then there was Adrian Shaw, my senior, 38, the kind of guy who pretends to be laid back, but is actually just lazy. Instead of mentoring juniors, he became an expert at dumping tasks on others. He mastered the art of avoiding responsibility like it was a sport. 1 month before our upcoming supplier visit, an important one, our manager announced that Adrian would be the main person. But guess who ended up coordinating everything? Me. Emails, schedules, data sheets, reports, logs, all on my table. Adrian kept saying, "You're young, you're quick. You can handle these things faster." That wasn't a compliment. That was manipulation wrapped in fake praise. The supplier office was an hour away. Adrian drives a car too, but when the visit was announced, he looked at me like a man about to hand over his entire burden. We were talking in the break room when he said casually, "Ryan, you've been to the West Hills side, right? You know that route better than me." He wanted me to volunteer. I wasn't falling for it. "No, haven't been there much," I replied, eyes glued to my coffee. A few days later, traffic on that side is crazy, man. I hate driving there. I shrugged. Then, "Hey, what's your fuel average?" "Mine's been terrible lately." These weren't hints. These were desperate, subtle pushes. 3 days later, I overheard Adrian talking to our manager in this overly concerned voice. "Yeah, still no solid plan for transport. But don't worry, I'll figure something out." I paused outside the manager's door. He wasn't figuring anything out. He was waiting for me to give in and drive. And for the first time, I felt something inside flip from frustration to clarity. This wasn't incompetence. This was entitlement. If he wanted to avoid responsibility, I was about to give him exactly what he deserved. A week before the visit, I left my car home and took the bus, turning a 20-minute ride into a miserable 65-minute commute. But spite is a powerful fuel. I sat on that bus every morning, earbuds in, listening to podcasts, watching the city crawl by, and smiling like a man with a secret. By day 3, my manager noticed. "Ryan, everything okay? Why aren't you driving?" Time to activate phase 2. "Oh, my brother's visiting from out of town," I said calmly. I lent him my car so he could take his girlfriend around. He won't stay long. My manager nodded, bought the story instantly. Then I struck the final blow. I drafted an email to both Adrian and our manager. Since our transport plans fell through, could a supplier please share available routes or recommendations for visiting their facility? I pressed send. 2 minutes later, I heard our manager's door slam open. Our manager's voice echoed across the corridor. "Adrian, is this what you meant by 'I'll figure something out'? You were responsible for this visit, and now the junior is handling everything." I sat at my desk, pretending to type, while Adrian looked like he wanted to sink through the floor. The manager tore into him. "You should be ashamed. Ryan has done all the prep. The least you could do is drive." Adrian's face went pale. The next morning, Adrian reluctantly drove us. He didn't speak the entire ride. Not a word. During the visit, he forced himself to act professional, but could barely look at me. During the drive back, he muttered, "You really couldn't just drive?" I turned to him, calm as water. "I didn't have my car." He clenched his jaw so hard I could hear it. The next morning, I rolled into the office in my car. Windows down, music playing, peaceful as ever. Adrian's eyes widened. His expression. You said, I walked past him, smiled politely, and said, "Oh yeah, my brother went home last night." He said nothing. Justice served. Quietly. Perfectly. The real payoff wasn't the drive. It was watching my manager hold Adrian accountable for the very thing he tried to pin on me. It was seeing Adrian finally realize I wasn't his backup plan. And the sweetest part? I never lied. I never insulted him. I never broke rules. I just let his own laziness bury him. Karma is patient, but it hits hard. Sometimes revenge isn't about being loud or dramatic. Sometimes it's not about big confrontations. Sometimes the cleanest revenge is stepping back and letting someone expose themselves. People like Adrian fail because they rely on others to clean their mess, until one day, someone quietly stops. And that's when the truth shows. If this cold, subtle revenge gave you that satisfying sting, hit that like button and drop a comment telling me, what's the pettiest but smartest revenge you've ever seen? And if you want more stories like this one, clever, emotional, and deeply satisfying, make sure you subscribe.